Between Silverstone and Spa, Lewis Hamilton walked into Ferrari's Maranello headquarters carrying nothing more than a slim black folder. To the untrained eye, it looked unremarkable. But according to multiple sources close to the team, what happened in that closed-door meeting could completely reshape Ferrari's future and leave Charles Leclerc fighting an uphill battle he might never win. The cameras never captured this moment. The headlines focused on Hamilton's struggles and Leclerc's pole positions. But while the world watched the drama unfold on track, the real power shift was happening behind closed doors. And what I'm about to reveal shows just how far ahead Hamilton is thinking. Let's be honest, Hamilton's 2025 season has been brutal. In Hungary, his frustration boiled over with those now infamous radio messages. "I'm useless. Absolutely useless." The seven-time world champion sounded defeated, broken even. But here's what the headlines missed. According to reports from sources close to the team, the problem wasn't Hamilton's speed. It was Ferrari's unwillingness to listen. As Hamilton himself revealed in a recent interview, Leclerc has been here for a long time, and he's been a part of evolving and developing this car. He's found one way in which the car works. "I've tried all the other directions that should work, but they just don't for whatever reasons." The pattern was clear. Hamilton would provide feedback, engineers would largely ignore it, and the cycle would repeat. Meanwhile, Leclerc continued to extract performance from a car built around his driving style over 5 years of development, but what Ferrari's engineers discovered in that black folder would change everything about this dynamic. And the implications go far beyond just the 2025 season. You might think this is just another story about a veteran driver struggling to adapt to a new team. After all, we've seen it before. Great drivers who couldn't quite gel with different machinery. But the evidence suggests something completely different is happening at Ferrari. According to Sky F1 pundit Simon Lazenby, who has insider knowledge of the situation, there's a growing body of voices within Ferrari saying, "Listen to Lewis." And leading that charge is performance engineer Jock Clear, a man who's worked with Hamilton at both Mercedes and now Ferrari. As Lazenby explains, Lewis, who since 2008 has won 7 world championships, while Ferrari in the meantime has brought home 0, means accepting and therefore marrying his vision of work on the car. Clear has been vocal internally, essentially telling Ferrari's technical department that Hamilton's feedback is second to none. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Hamilton wasn't just offering verbal feedback and hoping for the best. He was playing a completely different game. That slim black folder Hamilton carried into Maranello, multiple sources confirm it contained what some are now calling a power map, a comprehensive technical blueprint for Ferrari's 2026 Formula One Challenger. This wasn't about fixing the SF25's issues for next weekend. According to insiders who've seen the document, Hamilton had created a complete engineering manifesto for the next regulation era. We're talking about active aero deployment strategies, hybrid power distribution patterns, revised suspension geometry, altered pedal box positioning, and steering feedback curves, all tuned specifically to his driving style. The level of technical detail was staggering. Engineers described Hamilton's fluency as unusual for a driver, noting that he referenced airflow separation points and cooling efficiency margins with the precision of someone who'd been studying aerodynamic design for months. And here's the part that should terrify Charles Leclerc. The document was so comprehensive and technically sound that Ferrari's engineering team couldn't ignore it. But the real genius of Hamilton's move goes deeper than just good engineering. The dossier read like something a technical director would submit to the FIA. It included revised weight distribution targets for 2026's reduced wheelbase, active aero deployment maps that mimic high-rake philosophy under braking, and hybrid strategies that hold back 15% more electrical energy for maximum overtaking opportunities. But here's what makes this a masterstroke of political engineering. Hamilton put everything in writing. In Formula One, verbal feedback disappears after each race weekend. But a printed, signed, archived technical document? That lives forever in the engineering department. Juan Pablo Montoya cryptically warned that Leclerc's life will get harder. At the time, it sounded like speculation. Now, with Hamilton's engineering coup revealed, it reads more like a coded prediction. The 2026 regulation changes represent a once-in-a-decade opportunity for a driver to embed their DNA into a car's fundamental design. Smaller chassis, narrower tires, active aero replacing DRS, new hybrid power splits, everything starts from scratch. And Hamilton has positioned himself not just as a driver with opinions, but as an active problem solver for Ferrari's technical challenges. According to sources within the engineering department, every time a designer references his document, every time an engineer integrates one of his specifications into a CFD run, the center of gravity shifts more toward Hamilton's vision. The most telling detail? Charles Leclerc reportedly never even saw the document. While he was focusing on extracting performance from the current car, Hamilton was engineering the future of Ferrari around his own driving style. The contrast in their approaches is already visible in simulator sessions. Engineers describe Hamilton's work as exhaustive. Hours spent cycling through setup parameters by millimeter increments, requesting multiple tire degradation scenarios, comparing CFD visualizations against telemetry data. Leclerc, by contrast, adapts to what the car gives him rather than micromanaging every parameter. Under stable regulations, both approaches can work, but 2026 isn't normal. The setup DNA gets baked in from day one. Here's the terrifying scenario for Leclerc. Imagine rolling up to the first 2026 test and finding a car that speaks Hamilton's mechanical language. Every corner entry characteristic, every hybrid deployment curve, every active aero trigger point optimized for the 7-time champion's style. We've seen this pattern before. Michael Schumacher didn't just win at Ferrari, he shaped their technical philosophy down to brake bias adjuster positioning. Fernando Alonso's Renault years were defined by chassis molded to his corner entry aggression. The danger for Leclerc is subtle, but devastating. If the 2026 car feels like an extension of Hamilton's hands, the political dynamics shift instantly. Not by decree, but by necessity. Engineers gravitate toward the driver whose feedback correlates with stopwatch results. And Hamilton has one final advantage that makes this even more dangerous for Ferrari's current hierarchy. He's been through regulation changes before and understands their political implications better than almost anyone on the grid. The presence of Mercedes refugees like chassis development expert Loic Serra and Hamilton's trusted ally Jock Clear means he has allies who understand his technical language. They've seen his engineering approach produce championship-winning cars before. So where does this leave Charles Leclerc? He still holds the points advantage in 2025. But as multiple sources note, when a regulation change looms, that metric carries less weight than influence over future development. The real question isn't who's faster today, it's whose vision will shape tomorrow's car, and Hamilton has just made his biggest move yet by skipping months of back-and-forth debate and dropping a fully formed technical vision directly into Ferrari's engineering department. Can Leclerc adapt quickly enough to a Hamilton-shaped car to maintain his position as Ferrari's number one? Or will we witness another case study in how technical influence can reshape team hierarchies? The first half of 2026 won't just decide the championship fight, it will likely determine the long-term leadership inside Ferrari. Because in Formula One, the true contest often happens months before the first lap is turned. In design reviews, simulator runs, and whispered conversations in factory corridors. That black folder Hamilton carried into Maranello wasn't just technical diagrams. It was a declaration of war fought with engineering precision rather than track position. When that first active aero flap moves in 2026, it won't just be channeling downforce, it will be carrying the imprint of the driver who engineered this battle from the inside out. The 2025 season will end long before the real fight is settled. And based on what we now know about Hamilton's strategic masterstroke, Charles Leclerc might be fighting for his Ferrari future with one hand tied behind his back. What do you think? Has Hamilton just pulled off the most sophisticated political move in recent F1 history? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insider analysis you won't find anywhere else.